Hello, everyone. Welcome to this session of Talking Tech, Women and Girls in ICT. My name is Nikita, and I'm a first-year Management Science and Engineering graduate student at Columbia University. I was a 2018 Grace Hopper Scholar, and at 0 to 1 Data, under the guidance of my mentors, Anisha Dandapani, I work in the core team as a data analyst to enable students to be change agents through the application of data science to solve real-world challenges. I am excited and honored to be having a discussion about tech and tech careers today with Enrica Porcari, Chief Information Officer and Director, Technology Division at UN World Food Program, WFP. Talking Tech is a series celebrating girls and women in tech being recorded around the world between Girls in ICT Day 2020 and Girls in ICT Day 2021. Girls in ICT Day is an international day marked on the fourth Thursday of each April. In 2020, Girls in ICT Day was on 23rd April. The objective of this mission is to help create a global environment that empowers and encourages girls and young women to consider studies and careers in the growing field of information and communication technologies. The Talking Tech series is brought to you by the ITU, UNICC, and in support of the Global Partnership for Gender Equality in the Digital Age. 0 to 1 Data and WFP are pleased to be a partner in this session today. To kick this session off, I am going to introduce to you our esteemed guest, Enrica Porcari, who is the UN World Food Program's Chief Information Officer and Director of Technology. She is also the chair of the UN's Emergency Telecommunications Cluster. Enrica drives and oversees the organization's efforts to fully digitize WTP's humanitarian response and development program activities. Donning many roles, Enrica is also currently a member of the World Economic Forum's Council of Drones and Aerial Mobility, and on the boards of the Technology Industry Association, GSMA's Mobile for Humanitarian Program, and Big Data for Social Good Accelerator. She is also a fellow of the Reuters Digital Vision Fellowship Program at Stanford University. Thank you, Enrica. Welcome to Talking Tech.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
To start off, I would like to ask you how and when did you get inspired to dive into the field of technology?
Yeah, that's a question that many ask, because when I started working in technology, it was the late 90s. Women in STEM were very few and far in between. But I'll tell you a little secret. I'm not a technologist. I'm actually a social scientist by training. But as a social scientist, I always wanted to do something. I was looking for an inspiration to do something good. I knew that with my life, I just wanted to do something meaningful, but I just didn't know what it was. And just like many young people, I was a bit lost. But I came across a group of technologists at the time that were engineers, mostly men, and they were so passionate about what they were doing about technology. They were talking about bits and bytes and about RAMs and CPUs. I had no idea what it was, but I was just like, I could just sense the strength and the fascination and the opportunities was coming. But I wanted to find a way in which I could marry it to doing it something good for the people and doing something for the environment. And so I started thinking, what can I do? And so I actually started talking to them on how we could look at applying technologies to solving the most difficult problems in developing countries. So I joined my first professional job was at the UN Food and Agriculture Organization, where I was exactly doing that. I was basically bridging this, the power of technology to solve problems that were being experienced in the field. That's how I got into it. It was 1990. And I never looked back. My whole life has been about bridging the technology with the applications to solve humanitarians and human-centric problems.
That's really inspiring. And to build upon that, I would like to ask you if you've encountered any serious challenges along the way. Being a woman in a man's world must have been super hard. How did you face that daunting task, and how did you overcome it?
Yeah, I never looked at myself as a woman in a man's job. I looked at myself as a committed person who wanted to make a difference, and I threw myself into the job. Sure, being in a room with only men and me being the only woman sometimes is a bit daunting, right? But I never let anybody think that I was less because I was a woman. But I didn't think that I was better because I was a woman. I was just I was glad that someone gave me an opportunity to be sitting in a room and show what I could do. And so I just put myself, wasn't worried about being the only woman. And then time came when I was no longer the only woman, which was also very nice. And in some cases, I gave back I'm trying also now to give back to society the same opportunity I was given to show that that commitments, dedication, professionalism, vision can take you far. Be that a woman or be you a man, it's the same. So I was very lucky that someone believed in me, and so it wasn't for very long that I was the only woman in the room.
That is really very motivating. And come as I'm someone from the outside, what are some of the technology initiatives that are used in achieving UN sustainable goals? Can you elaborate more on that?
Sure. So I don't know if you know, the World Food Program is the largest humanitarian agency, and as such, we deal every day with really large scale and complex problems in all of the countries where we operate. We serve over 90 million beneficiaries every day in over 80 countries in the most remote locations. And as such, we have to be very creative and ingenious in how we go about solving this apparently unsurmountable problems in a situation that changes continuously. So it takes a lot of creativity. It takes a lot of it's challenging us every day, and I think sustainable development goals. WFP is committed specifically to Sustainable Development Goal 2, which is about zero hunger, and 17, which is about partnerships. Although we believe that all of them will deliver together. But in the ones that we mostly focus on, we leverage some of the partnerships to find ways in which technology can help us solve the problem of zero hunger. So we are mostly humanitarian, not technologists. So we really leverage the opportunity of partnering with large technology corporations, large organizations that are willing to give to humanitarian problems. From some of the technologies that we use, for example, is of the recent ones, drones for rapid assessment in disaster areas. Just imagine, it used to take us weeks to understand how fast we could respond to an earthquake-stricken country or flood-ridden or a town. Now, in just as a matter of hours, we could deploy drones, fly drones, collect images, send them back to our data centers, and through artificial intelligence and machine learnings, we basically decrypt all of it, interpret it, and come up with an assessment of where the bridges are broken, how can we move the food there, how many people are being affected. It used to take us days, now it takes us hours. So really leveraging technology, putting technology in the hands of the people of the furthest behind, ensuring that even in areas where we operate, we don't widen the gap between those who have technologies and don't. I think these are some of the principles that we deploy in all of our operations to make sure that we use technologies to do good in the countries where we operate. Data, I think, is something that is very dear to you as a scientist in that area, and I think that this is one of the real areas of great potential application. So if you wanted to become a humanitarian, please give me a call.
Yes, I'll definitely take up on that offer. And as a leader in the technology sector, there must have been a lot of roles that you've done. How do you prioritize, and how do you, talk to people in tech? How do you bring about that leadership skills that you have?
Someone has defined me as a leader from behind. Although I tend to also be very much in the front. You know, at times, you know, I'm a fighter. I don't give up, and I try. For me, it's trying to protect the people who work with me. Trying to give them an environment where they can shine, they can give their best. To make them feel proud. I think that pride is one of these superpowers that people have. You know, if you feel proud about what you can give to society, to your neighbors, to your family, to the world overall, there are no boundaries. So my job as a leader is just to provide, you know, the direction where the North Star is, and then empowering the teams to give their individuals and teams to give their very best to reach what they can within their own powers. And again, when people feel proud of what they do, I've seen them do amazing things.
That's very nice. You know, understanding how empowering people can bring them forward. And so my next question is, what are some of the lessons that you've learned along this long and amazing career path that you've had?
What have I learned? I learned, well, there are a few things that I've learned. Look after yourself and look after the people you care for. It's very important. Always have time for the people that you care about, because it takes a village. You will always find moments where you feel down, you feel overwhelmed, you feel like I just can't do it, and that's where the community comes to the rescue. So they will pay back what you have invested in them. So I think look after yourself and look after the people around you. It's a wise thing to do. You may know I also have a family. I have 2 children, and so for me, spending time with the people that you care is very important. That's in the end is what's going to stay for you with you for life. Be generous. Be generous in. Be generous in providing advice to people, in guiding people, but also be generous to yourself and understanding that sometimes you just need the time and need to reflect and learn from others. So be humble. Don't think it just because I've been in this business for, it's scary to think that I've been in this business for almost 30 years, that I know it all. I learned every day. I learned from young people by their ingenuity, by their way of asking questions in ways that I thought I had done it before. So I think that there are many things, and I think it's give opportunity to others. That's one of the things that I've been, as I think, as I told you earlier, someone gave me an opportunity to come out of the areas where I was thought that I could do something. Give me so I'm trying to do the same, trying to give opportunity to others.
I'll definitely keep those points in mind. And coming to our last question, since the series is about girls and women in technology, do you have any career or tech advice for girls and younger women in tech?
Just follow your heart. Go where your heart tells you to go. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't. Just follow where your inspiration takes you. Not because follow that job because that's where the future is. The future is where your heart is going to take you. And you know, in your generation, you're probably on average going to live about 100 years. And as such, don't expect to have, you know, like previous generation, one career, one job, or one career, 2 careers and 4 jobs. You're probably going to have 3 careers and 30 jobs. So you may become a data scientist now and then decide to become, you know, a park ranger. I started as a park ranger and now I'm the director of technology at the World Food Program. So who knows? Just just follow and always try and always say, I'm not interested. Always be curious. That's it's not really a career advice. It's more like a life advice. Be curious, be humble to say I don't know and I'd like to learn more, because you don't know where your next career is going to go, because your career would be where your inspiration, where your passion takes you.
That is correct. Yeah. So with that, I think I'm done with my questions.
Okay, so now I have a few questions for you.
Yes.
So you're young, talented, committed, obviously very dedicated young lady. How did you get into technology, and what do you like most about it?
So my career, I mean, my path into technology was very confusing to me. I did not know what I want. I still don't have a very good picture of what I want. But my sister actually, she was an engineer, and she really liked what she was studying, and that I actually followed my sister, and that is what got me into tech. So before I entered my college, I had literally no clue about what I was going to do. But in my 4 years of college, I learned that, by having a career in technology, I can really make an impact on people. That's something that I've always lived by. Even when I was a kid, I just didn't want to live a life on earth and just like pass away and have no impact and have no story to say. I really want to help people around me and use technology for good, because from what I see, technology to me is an equalizer, because you give internet, you give technology to everybody, they'll be able to study, they'll be able to work on their skill set, no matter where they are, no matter who they are. Because when I studied in a very low college compared to the colleges here in the United States. And when I was there, I had literally no clue that I'd be able to come and study in a college like Columbia 4 years later. And that is possible only because of technology, only because of technological advancements. So I really owe my journey so far to technology, and I really, want to help move that story forward.
Yeah, great. So technology is becoming an element of democracy, right? It's democratizing access. So how would you continue? What is your next project? Your next? Well, you just started your master's. So what gets you excited?
I really want to do my bit in helping social issues. And at my organization, under my mentor, Anusha, I'm actually a data analyst. So what we did is in February this year, we had a reduce food waste campaign where we brought together high school students, the New York Department of Education, the UN, and we had a small pitching competitions where students, they had to collect data on the amount of food being wasted in their schools.
Oh,
And then they had a pitching competition where they themselves came up with the idea. So our mission is to bring data and the stakeholders together and like have a democratizing process where they themselves can come up with a solution. And that was really inspiring to me, and I look forward to doing such initiatives. I really don't know what my plans ahead are, because I'm still learning. What I understand is that having a straight set path can sometimes be, it can lead to a lot of pressure on you. What I like doing is making the most of what's around me and learning as I grow.
yeah, great. Be curious, experiment new things. You never know. You may become an environmentalist next, and
Yes.
applying technology for environmental protection, or, it's great. And that's
Yeah.
so, but as a young, motivated, young woman who has been given an opportunity and who's taken it with the pride and, honoring that opportunity, what is your message to other young women like you?
It's okay to make mistakes. Even though my path has been like just started, there have been numerous times when I've done something, I've failed miserably, and I felt like this was it. I'm gonna do something very simple. But I somehow I found that strength to keep going on. The world is scary, it's super competitive, there are a lot of things out there, but having a support system is very important. That's what I understood. Having people to rely on, having people so that they can mentor you, they can tell you that it's okay and hold your hands. that is very important. Like, is try to build a communication and also try to talk to a lot of people. Now, I did not know about any of the UN's, sustainable. I mean, I knew of sustainable goals, but I did not know that this was something that I could also participate in. Now, after talking to you, like I have that in the back of my mind. Like I'm gonna read more about it, research it, and if I'm interested, I might as well apply for this opportunity too. So, talking to a lot of people, opening up your horizons, and dreaming big. I'm here because I dreamt big. I did not let my parents or my societal status or my economic conditions curb me from not following my dreams. And it will be hard. There will be a lot of struggles along the way, but keep dreaming. That's what I would say. And I'm still dreaming.
You're the one who's inspiring me, not the other way around. It's like keep dreaming, and I'm really humbled, and by your energy, by your enthusiasm. It's so heartening to see your commitment, your drive, not stopping. Just because this was not the path that maybe was designed for you at the beginning, and I think you should be really proud of the fact that you're taking other people's advice and you treasure it, because it also takes a lot of courage to think that other people may know better than you. That's a moment of a lot of personal growth. So I really salute you for that.
Thank
Very
you.
well
Yeah,
done.
you're too kind.
And I really wish you all the best, all that you deserve with your energy, commitment, and passion. I think that the world, the sustainable development goals, and the millions of people out there who rely on the energy of those like you really deserve. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much. So with that, that we come to an end of our session today for Talking Tech, Women and Girls in ICT. Thank you so much, Enrica. I must say that I'm super excited to learn more about what the UN does. And I'm really definitely considering applying for a position soon once I complete my education. And I really enjoyed our chat today. Thank you so much to our viewers for watching.
Well, thank you, Nikita, and thanks to all the young women like you who want to make a difference in the world.
Thank you.